Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am giving you a review of our summer reading challenge, our summer reading program. Anyway, today's a review, so be sure to stick around. If you saw the initial video of the summer reading challenge, this was our first year using it. I went through this, I don't want to say it's a curriculum, but just kind of this little packet that I found on Teachers Pay Teachers, all of that stuff. So I will link that up for you if you guys are interested in checking it out. Really, you can use it anytime, but obviously it specifically says my summer reading. But anyway, I go through why I picked it and all that stuff. So I will have that linked up for you. But today's video, I am going to give you a review of how we did with our summer reading. This was a collab with Alicia at DAC Family. So that playlist link will be in the description as well as her channel link. Be sure to check that out because everybody's going to be giving you an update to it. If you guys watched that one as well, you know, your girl was struggling with reading. And that proved to stick through the entire summer. And so I have come to you to report that I did in fact finish this book, The Late Bloomers Club by Louise Miller. I finished it. Part of me feels like the reason that I don't have a real fantastic review is because of that. Like, I feel like it took me forever to get going, and then about the time I'd get going, I'd have to stop, and then it would be 3 days. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't read it. But also, I think some of the book is just kind of a little slow. And there wasn't, to me, it seemed like it just kind of drug out a little bit. Now, again, keeping in mind, I kind of drug out reading it, so it could just be that. But yeah, it wasn't, it was very light. There wasn't a lot of depth to it. Yeah, so that's that. I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily don't recommend it, but I can't say I necessarily recommend it either. It just was kind of meh. Okay, so once I finished Late Bloomers Club, I finally got in M is for Mama, and I got started in this one. If you do not have this book, get it. It is fantastic. Now, this is not a, for me, I am not using this as a read cover to cover kind of book. It's really kind of set up as you read each section, and then there's kind of a prayer, and there's a couple of reflection questions. And so I am trying to read like 1 or 2 a week so that I can really kind of focus on them, really chew on it, let it sink in. But it's really, really good. So far, I am on chapter, I guess, or section 7 is the next that I will read. And it's really great. And I'm finding that this actually works fantastically for me in this season because it is about the length that I can read in one sitting, which is, you know, roughly 3 or 4 pages. And then that's it. Either I'm asleep or someone needs me. So, highly recommend this one so far. It's fantastic. The other book that I really just kind of got started reading is If the Tomb is Empty by Joby Martin. I also recommend this book. I am in, I believe this is chapter 2. Mount Sinai is into chapter 2, but I am a good portion into the book. But yeah, I definitely recommend this. I have watched some lots of sermons by Joby Martin. He is one of our favorites. Highly recommend this book, Why the Resurrection Means Anything is Possible. So it's really just all about the gospel, how it relates to our lives, why it's important, what it means, all the good stuff. So definitely recommend that one. And that's it for Mom. That's all I got, y'all. On to the kid. She was much more successful than I am. Before we get into like the physical books that she read, y'all, we have gone through so many audiobooks. Really, anywhere we go is about a 30-minute ride. And so I would just start an audiobook, and that was that. Sometimes she will listen to an audiobook while she's coloring or playing with Legos, Barbie dolls, whatever. And so, yeah, she has gotten through a ton of audiobooks. Now, on to physical books she read. Again, this was the first year that we had done any sort of like summer reading program, summer reading challenge, anything like that. And I'm actually very, very proud of her. I will tell you, we did not keep up with this as well here like the last several weeks. So there probably are more books that should be on here. We tried to kind of rack our brains and remember, but a lot of these were library books. And so it's hard to remember because they've been returned, you know, 3-4 weeks now. And so it's hard to remember what they were. And some of them got checked out, and then we never actually read them, and she decided to just go ahead and return them because, you know, she wasn't as interested as she thought she was going to be or whatever. So not everything made it on here, but we're pretty close. I don't think we're missing a whole bunch. You guys, this girl read, from what is listed on here, 32 books this summer. But 32 books for a 6-year-old, and half of that summer, the beginning half of the summer, she wasn't even 6 yet. She was 5. Just outstanding. So proud of her. She did so good. Some of them were chapter books, and some of them were just picture books. I didn't care. Whatever she read, I had her write down on her reading log. And like I said, outside of like these last couple of weeks that we both just kind of got busy with things. But yeah, so 32 books. The most consistent books and book series for her were Magic Tree House and the Mo Willems books. So specifically the Elephant and Piggy. She loves those. But she did get a couple other ones. I think there's like something with a pigeon, and then maybe there's some other kind of series, but most often it was the Elephant and Piggy and anything Magic Tree House. She read all kinds of different ones, and she loved those. I asked her what her favorite book she read this summer, and she said it was the Magic Tree House. What is it? Narwhal at Nighttime, or I don't know. It's book, I don't even remember what book she told me. She told me it was Magic Tree House book number 30 whatever, Narwhal at Nighttime, or I think is what it's called, but it's whichever one has the narwhal. And it's her favorite because the narwhal is the unicorn of the sea. Unicorns themselves are not actually real, but it's called the unicorn of the sea, and she loves that. So there you go. And we also didn't keep up with the minute tracker either, obviously. So, you know, it's okay, it's fine. But there was a lot of reading that happened. We did do a handful of these little book summaries, which is really the reason that I wanted to get this. That's why I liked this little packet was because it had these book summaries, and I thought these were really great. We didn't get to all of them. That's okay. I didn't really push it much either, so not really anyone's fault. It just is what it is. But I did find them really useful. I want to try and find something similar, or quite honestly, I may just reprint this again. and use this through the school year as she reads assigned readers. I did tell her today that this year we will start assigned reading for her. I do want her to do some sort of book summary at the end. And I think this is a really good place to start. All it is write the title, the author, and then there is one question that she has to answer. But each book summary will be a little bit different. The questions are different, requires her to think of something differently. I think that is sufficient at this point. I don't want to overwhelm or overload her. And she is quite a bit of a reluctant writer at this point. So I want to just keep it simple and make it where it's a little bit more of a fun thing versus just more school stuff. Now they did have like this cute little summer reading challenge bingo thing. We probably did most of these and we just didn't mark them off. The only one I know for sure we did not do was read at the beach and read on an airplane, and read to a pet, because our pet is chickens and they're not interested in listening to her read. I mean, I guess she's reading outside. They're kind of listening, but you know, it wasn't like she had like a cute little puppy dog cuddled up in her lap listening to her read or anything like that. But everything else, we very likely did. And that's it. That's how our summer reading went. I think it was a really, really great experience. I want to, you know, continue to do this, do it next year for sure. I think it really helped push us into this school year as we're, like I said, I'm going to be doing assigned reading for her. I think maybe that will kind of encourage her to do that. And it kind of gave me a good idea of the things that she liked. I just would take her to the library and I didn't care what she picked, obviously, as long as it was within her age range and it was an appropriate book and things like that. But as far as the topics and stuff like that, I allowed her to pick whatever she thought she would be interested in. And I think it really helped her too, because she would look at the cover of something and she would really think that she'd be interested in it. And then she'd read a little bit and not be interested. And I didn't make her finish it because I don't like reading books that I'm not interested in either. So, you know, I'm not going to make her read at this point, right? She's 6. So we're not at the point where it's like, you know, there is a method to the madness here with reading this book. It's still very much like, I want you to read because you enjoy it and it's fun and it's something that you want to read. I want to still instill the love of reading and the love of learning. So I didn't push her if she didn't think she was interested in it. And yeah, that's it for our summer reading challenge. Don't forget to check out all of the other updates in the playlist below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.